Good afternoon. Welcome to your favorite social media program, The Buzz. I am Rose Blossom. Today is Thursday. Thursday edition is usually about relationship, marriage, and of course, a lifestyle. But today we have more of lifestyle and marriage. You know, they're all intertwined. But we have our guests. We have two guests in the house. We a politician turned a life coach, but he's actually a life coach before he turned politician. We have that. We have him in the house and we have a person in the house. So I'm just going to introduce them. I have Femi Chacha. He's a life coach and of course he's an author, also a writer. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me today.
How was your travel?
Yeah.
What did you bring for us?
Let's thank God for life.
I thought you were going to say Alafia, the way everyone's give response to.
Let's thank God for life and the cabinet shake-up and the presidency was, so I talked about it, probably expecting it to happen 2 weeks ago. But, well, I'm expecting it to happen in batches, but
it happened just once. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for coming. And also we have Pastor James Olokesusi. He's a minister, a speaker, a writer, also an author. Welcome to the show, sir. It's good to have you again.
It's a pleasure having me again.
You're becoming a regular now. I love that.
It's interesting.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming. Okay. Very quickly, because you mentioned about the cabinet, I don't know why are there so much rejoicing about Uju Kennedy. Because she was removed. I don't know, I thought when they take out a good thing, people tend to want to rejoice more because I feel like when I don't know, how do you see it?
It's to me there are three main factors: the message, the method, the messenger. The messenger has to do with her personality. Quite a lot of people do not like her personality. But you cannot doubt her message.
Yeah.
But the truth is that her methods are actually crude also.
Okay.
So when most times as a politician, you make sure that you always score 2/3. So if you know you as the messenger, your personality, there's a dent.
Yeah.
You make sure that your method and the message you are trying to is good enough.
Okay.
So she failed in 2 out of 3.
And that's true.
Yeah, that's
she had a good message, but her method was,
exactly.
And her personality, she's a very strict person. So a lot of people believe, now they are rejoicing because they'll see enough money to steal.
Exactly.
And they are so happy because, in fact, well, anyways, we're not talking about politics, but I just had to put that in. Okay, so today, let's first start with navigating the challenges of long-distance relationship. I, for one, can I really cope with long-distance relationship? Let's leave that. I've done that before. It was very, very difficult. But first, I just want to ask. We know a long-distance relationship, and we know that sometimes it goes through a lot of challenges, and especially when, there is no bonding. The only thing they have is text, videos and calls. That's the only thing they do for each other. And sometimes they easily get tempted or swayed by other things. It takes a whole lot to be able to, for the person's return or the person's visitation, and you guys will still bonded the first time you met. And so maybe you met via the long term distance relationship. I think that's the only way that will work. But let me ask you, Pastor.
Okay.
What are the major challenges for you? Like one of the major challenges for long distance relationship, and how do you think people can actually, overcome such challenges when it comes?
Basically, long-term relationship. The world has moved from the Stone Age into a digital ecosystem whereby we can talk, we can converse. Remember in those days where we used to do midnight calls, and that conversation could keep a distant relationship. But now we don't need all of that. We can do videos with all those things. But the challenge surrounding it is that shocker. It's a shocker that I was speaking to somebody recently, and the husband has been in Germany for a while, and only for her to, after a while now, this year or last year, she eventually went over and to discover that the husband had 2 children already. So it comes up with a shocker. Because the other part, you don't know what the other part, especially is for men. You don't know what the other part is doing. In spite of intimacy, in terms of connection, calls, communications, it takes a lot of a commitment to make sure that it's is last. Even in marriage, it takes a lot of
Commitment
for you to hold the marriage together.
Okay, Chacha, I'm going to ask for the aspect of expectations and planning. You know, sometimes this is long distance relationship. There's this expectation that he should call me in the morning, he should call me in the afternoon, or she should call me. They should just have a communication morning, afternoon, night. Maybe there is a time whereby maybe, okay, since not close, it has to be maybe dropping some amount of money per week or per month, you know, different sort of expectations. And you know, they will start planning, okay, I'm going to visit you so time, and maybe something happens, it doesn't come, and she had to say, okay, I'm going to visit, then something happens. You just find out that the distance keep, you know, getting longer because there's a promise and there's a fail. So how do you think people can manage these expectations and the planning at the same time?
Good. I think the reality on ground at the moment, especially because of the economy, each humans, we should accept that we may not need to see ourselves every time physically, but we can always find other means to actually see ourselves and to communicate. Okay. You see, only people that are too manipulative get triggered or bothered when they see physically, because most times, you know, the way you'll be able to control and assert your presence physically is a little difficult when it has to be virtual. So, and you know, we have different temperaments. So people that has that archaic mentality of boring or trying to be assertive for certain things really copes, especially from the male side. Yeah. Then another issue is the issue of trust because of what's happening, especially when both of you are not too financially viable.
Buoyant, yeah.
But how do you now manage expectations? You see, I think the first thing is there must be something practical you both are looking forward to. When the only thing you are looking forward to when you see is sex, then what comes to your mind is, oh, he can always get it elsewhere. She can always get it elsewhere. But when there are realistic things that you guys are looking up to, shared goals. In fact, it's more important. When there are shared goals, hey, I'm going for 6 months. I'll be here for 3 months. When I get my master's, coming back, my income will triple, and it will help us to do so. See, shared goals, realistic goals. It's easier for you to see the bigger picture, but most times, what set them apart has nothing to do with what is bringing them together. So it's difficult to maintain. So if you want to manage your expectations, number one, define the goals clearly, and then make sure that every of the goals defined, there is personal development attached to both of you. Because you find reasons why people are quite manipulative and assertive is that there's a probability that the woman sees someone better than I am. Maybe I'm in level 14 or so, and see, you can't let the woman not to go. There's also opportunity that there's also possibility that the guy can see someone more submissive if he's a guy that is really assertive and so it's once there are no shared goals, all of this, everything looks like it. There will always be that Ishmael that looks like the Isaac that comes up and really probably don't want to wait for the promise anymore. So most realistically, to manage expectations, have shared goals, then work on personal development. If it's only one person doing personal development,
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna, because you end up feeling like, I don't think we are there anymore.
I don't think we're compatible.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very true. Okay, let's talk about communication part from another angle. Now, the aspect of communication in the sense that sometimes, you know, we women we can be so dramatic, you know. So imagine maybe I'm feeling very bored and I really want to speak to you, but I understand, I know that at that point I want to speak to you is not possible, but I just need to talk to. Now maybe because I know I need to understand that, okay, your timing is not working with mine at that point, I look for somebody else to talk to. Right, so let's assume we are in a relationship, and I know you're not available. Probably you're in church, you're a pastor at that point, and I need somebody to talk to. I can't hold the emotions, and I look for Femi Chacha. Let's talk. I did the first time. The second time again, it happens that within the period, I want to talk to somebody again. I want to talk to you. You're not available. I meet Femi Chacha again. Do you know I'm pouring my emotions?
That's true.
Towards him, which is very, very dangerous and tricky. You will not find out at the end of the day, when we not have time to talk, there is nothing to talk about, because someone's already helped me sort my emotions. And that point where you're supposed to sort out things, I'm supposed to express myself, where there's supposed to be a bonding, the distance, but you may not feel it. You might just say, no gist, nothing. But I know fully well there's somebody else that is taking the place of that. Now, how do you think a man or a woman should be able to come in this situation? Like, how do you think they can be able to blend and make it work?
Basically, like I said earlier, the world has moved into so much digital ecosystem, and it takes commitment from the two individuals, especially for the man. When it comes to women, are a bit emotional. Just want to, when they are feeling the emotion, they are feeling the tension, they want to probably want to share with somebody. So a man in a distant relationship should show much commitment, much commitment. I've seen even in last month, I was counseling a woman. She was giving me the husband, they are both in Lagos here, but the man doesn't have time to come home. And he comes probably about twice in a year, two, 3 times in a year. They're in Lagos together. And she was saying that no wonder the first wife of this one was cheating. Now I'm almost tempted to do the same. And so there must be shared. I had to really draw the woman closer so that she will not, so that we can counsel and relax with that. The man, she has even given an ultimatum. She said before December, if it does not change, she's going to divorce him. Whoa. Because the sexual affair, the intimacy, so when there is a distance like that, the man should show commitment. No matter how much texting, you're at work, you can quickly send message, you can, the commitment in terms of communication, you must see it as a key. That communication is key. Because I could remember, like I said, in days of those midnight calls, our talking and lots of that, it goes a long way in making the relationship to work. So now that we can share videos, we can share, we can share, a lot of time we realize that we are almost more committed to our families abroad than around us. So that's commitment to making sure that we are passing from time to time. Is key. It's
very important. You even said something, and let me just say something about what you said. For the man, he believes he's working hard. He needs to give the man money, but men need to men even if she's seeing the money. I'm just saying that men need to understand that women see the real deal of a woman is not even about the money. The money is part of it. But to be honest, you want a woman full attention. You have to give that woman attention. You want a woman that would stay with you or understand you or be able to probably give you the time and space she wants. If you don't give her the little attention that she requests for, I think if you think money is going to cover up, is never going to cover up. I'm just saying that. So of course she'll get the attention somewhere else, and when her mind is diverted, the whole entirety of a woman is shift. Men can easily have different ladies around, but there's one person they love and respect. But for a woman, once a woman shifts, she has shifted. There's no way you can bring her back.
She said the love is even dead. That was
and I'm certain, as much as the love is dead, if you there's somebody she's talking to, there's somebody giving her listening ears, there's somebody that is at least helping her, relieve herself a little bit of the tension. I'm not talking about the sex part, but at least somebody that is having good communication with her. But anyways, I wish them all the best. Hopefully the man would come back. So
let me add my thoughts on this.
Okay, please do.
See, the challenge with the 21st century couples, lovers is we start so many things that we can't finish. At the beginning, you see, some of us learned the ropes from people who have traveled ahead of us, probably because we understood our career trajectory, and they were sharing the difficulties that they didn't envisage, and it helped us to actually shape our mind and help our women be in perspective. I'll give a good instance. Most times from honeymoon, because they just got married, the man wants to come home very early, creating a kind of relation that that is not sustainable. And you've really raised her hopes. She wants to see you all the time. She wants to, but you don't understand that those are the best times for you to actually talk about those things. So now, when the funny thing is that you have all the time, and when all of the love and all of the caressing and kissing, then she now begins to tell you about money. Babe, I need this, I need it. You want to now prove that love beyond just seeing her. You now have to now take out time to work for it, but she still needs that attention. Because that was what you started with.
Yeah.
So you need to work harder because the children comes in also, and the expenses is good. You have to now spend more hours.
Yeah.
But you've forgotten how you started.
The attention.
You've forgotten how you started. Now she's even too busy. She now needs that time. But probably she always leaned on you when there was no child and all. So you don't want to do that anymore because you come back late. You just want to eat and sleep and get ready for. So most times I think Nigerian youths, some of us that have not been married or those are new couples, you need to understand 3 things critically. One, there's a stage where you have to be able to know that in a scale of preference, love, money, and attention, you will need more of your presence, which is the attention. Then little of money. But there will be a time that you don't know of money and less of them. But the mistake most Nigerian men make is that they don't get their wife also busy to travel up the ladder. If she is still there, and
she will need more attention.
She will still need that level of attention that she needs when you were at that lower level. Yes. But most men don't understand. The more you push her up,
she gets busy too.
Yes, she gets busy too, and the level of attention will also reduce.
That's true.
So you also work on your wife, your counterparts. Personal development, so that you guys, your level of thinking can continue to match.
In fact, you even be the one like tired.
You get the point. You get the point.
Yeah.
So exactly, very, very important. So it's not just enough for you to just want to be there and work hard. Fine, you may not need the money from her. That's not it. But you have to make sure that she's also growing, so that she's busy, and then you guys can always think apart.
I'm telling you, and to be honest, I totally agree with you, because as a woman, when I'm so busy, even if I'm less busy, obviously I'll probably want to start talking to my man and like, okay, how are you? You know, even disturbing him, you understand? But because I'm busy, I won't even think about picking up my phone or say, no, you did not call me since morning. Who have time for that one? Even me, have I called myself to order? So you understand? So I actually really do believe what you're saying. And this is for all those who are doing long distance relationship. You heard it from the experts, how you can actually manage your long distance relationship. If you know you're going through some certain things, you can always, you know, try some of this things, especially what Chacha just summarized it up with. I think that's the best advice any man can get. You're old or you're young or anyhow, so why you want to put a woman life, you have to follow these rules that he just talked about. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one is, can love be faked or measured? Okay, first I'm just going to ask, love be faked or measured? Can love be faked? Femi?
I think no.
Really?
Yeah.
But can it be measured?
Via instinct, yes. But physical, scientific ways of measurement, no.
No, okay.
But via instinct, yes.
Okay, so why do you say love cannot be faked?
You see, love is more caught than thought. You catch the person's action. The person does it intuitively. It's easier if you have that understanding. It's easier for you to see the person that is. That's the reasons why you see many ladies fall into the hands of playboys. It's because those guys have mastered it and they understand the emotions. It is from their end. It is fake actually. But if you learn to follow your intuition and you understand that certain things are principles, okay, there are keywords that hits a woman. But if you are the conversational type and you want to dig deep into what somebody is just saying at the surface, you see it. Then most times the reason why I believe love cannot be faked is that God himself is love. And if God is not fake, then it's not possible to fake love. Number two, there is something called, except for people that, you see, most of those that fall victim of all these things, personally, from the home they came from, there is lack of love. So it's easier for them to be more vulnerable.
Okay.
Just from my line of thought, you have an absentee father as a lady. So any guy out there that tends to probably want to, maybe what you wanted in a father is the provider. Any guy out there that tends to speak that language, you mistake it for love because where you're coming from. But in the true sense of it, that's actually not even love. So that guy, you may think that guy is faking it, but it has to do with your own perspective and how you grew up. Someone that has the father that was always there, even though he didn't have money, we will not see a guy giving 100% attention as loving her because the father was always there. But may probably say, oh, if this guy throws cash, maybe he loves me, because that's what the father. That's the way women are wired. So, but if you now learn to look at things beyond just surface and be conversational, what's your? Then a good question is, most times guys avoid it, especially playboys. What's your definition of an ideal woman? They can't answer you because they're looking for how to paint you
as the ideal woman,
and get a stutter, and then the woman doesn't even love you. He doesn't even love you. you. He's just trying to play and get what he wants. So one, make sure that you don't have a backlog of emotions that you're trying to fill up. Because that will make you mistake any action of kindness for love. Yeah.
And kindness is not entirely love.
It's not. Then two, be willing to have the hard conversations before things go deep. Be really willing. They are very innocent questions. What's your definition of an ideal woman? Why do you need a woman? Sometimes you're someone that can cook, clean, and you know that that's not your kind of person. Not that it is completely bad, but you won't fall victim before you start saying, no, I can't do this. Ask questions. Then you will understand that you can love and it won't be fake. The last thing I want to say about that again is, you see, because of the poverty that is going in Nigeria, most people are actually not looking for love. They are looking for sponsors. They are looking for poverty alleviation schemes. They are looking for free sex. They're looking for free sex. Oh, because I do certain things for you when I have money, anytime I call on you, you should always show up. So once what they want from each other aligns, they don't want to see. Later they may think they will love them, but it's actually not. It doesn't.
And at the end of the day, they probably don't even settle down.
Exactly, because what they wanted was just a transactional
love.
Transactional relationship.
Okay, all right, Pastor. What's your take? Do you believe love can be faked? As he said, no, you can't fake love. Do you? Is it your answer same thing?
Basically, love cannot be faked because there's the local power. They said if somebody they are deceiving doesn't know, the person that is deceiving somebody know they are deceiving somebody. If somebody is, there are some induced fake love, because if somebody is forcing somebody to love him or her, a woman is putting pressure on a man. I love you. Just make sure you love me.
Please, why are people using woman as example? What is going on? Please. Some lecturer said a woman is this. That's why playboys use man.
A man can do the same thing. A man that's forcing a woman, you must have to be my wife. You have to do this thing. I was talking to a lady one time. I was trying to introduce her to a person. He said, there's one guy I love. He said he will wake up with his fiancée, then he will come back for me. So I'm waiting for him. So he's trying to force that guy to love her. And so at the end of the day, they will blame the guy for fake loving her or lacks of that. So love cannot be, love goes beyond just our words. It's an action. And one of the way you even test love is a place where difficulty. When either parties are having difficulty, how far can this other person go for you? The man, how far can he go for the woman? Or a woman, how far can he go for the man? I've seen, people who are married, and I was asking a woman about 2 years ago, and he said, Pastor, I don't love this man. About a marriage of almost 17, 18 years. Wow. And she said, no. This kind of relationship caused the whole thing initially. But now I said, I don't love him. From the day-go, I've said I don't love him. And the man was weeping and weeping. So the young people should understand the danger of forcing somebody to love you, or force a woman or a man to love you. If the person does not want you, just go. There are many, many women out there. There are many, many men out there. And so if somebody comes to you because of the money, a woman comes to a man because of the money, or a man comes to a woman because of the money, you will know. Because like Mr. Faith, in the course of your conversation, you will know how committed this person. Commitment shows you in the words. When you are talking, time will even tell. Time will reveal this person loves. So sometimes a lot of people, like what he said, they remove their eyes because they have set some misplaced priorities and misplaced expectations. They just want to go only for the money. I see a guy who is dating a lady. After sometimes they will fight, he will stick to break the head of the lady. A few days after, the lady will come back and still be begging because the guy can give her some money and relax of that. This is a beautiful lady. Sometimes I wonder, say, are you out of your mind? At the end of the day, this guy will kill you. They say, no. So sometimes people induce the fake love themselves because they just want, if it's not you, I can't marry somebody else. If it's not you, so at the end of the day, the marriage is broken. And let me just add this thing. There are, for people who are feeling that the Bible does not support divorce in some areas, there are 4 areas which Bible people support divorce. Not just in the area of cheating alone. In the Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? When somebody built a relationship on the basis of falsehood, like I said last week, a guy after they got married, honeymoon, he discovered the lady was afraid, and she never told the guy. And the guy will say, what am I going to do? So that's forceful. You never told the person. Another angle was the fact that the Bible talks about husband, love your wife. And if there's no place of love, you are beating your wife every now and then, the lady can pack her things and leave. And the other part is that women submit to your husband. And if man refuse to submit, I've seen that now a couple that broke up last year, and I okayed it. Because the lady, the moment they are getting into fight, it will break TV, break this one, break everywhere. I cannot say, let's do this one, it will blast the guy, do this one. After a while, the guy has to, the Bible is just that he only addresses directly, saying that on the basis of fornication. But this other one, they are not really direct statement, but it shows that, these are fake signs of,
fake
love.
I learned on that one, induced fake love. So it's not just about fake love. They can also induce the fake
program.
love. Yes, more like program. But you said something about the lady. I was just waiting for you to finish. I'll say it. How are we certain actually guy did not say that he was going to actually leave his fiancé for her? Just give for a perfect time.
How can somebody say something to you that I'm still dating somebody? Just go and wait around the corner. Let me leave this man and come to you. And you are saying, oh, I'm waiting patiently.
But to be honest, I've seen situations like that whereby not even situations, they end up getting married because they've been in a relationship, and of course fiance, definitely for someone to be a fiance has probably been there for years, and he's finding it difficult to break the ice to the fiance that this thing can't work. So he's looking for a perfect time, and while at that, he's still having that one as the babe, but telling her to keep it on the low because he doesn't want. He ended up breaking up with the said fiance, and the ex-fiance traveled out. Am I even supposed to use ex-fiance? The ex-girlfriend traveled out, and he got married to his wife, and they later traveled out. And right now, all of them still speak with each other. But it's later he got to reveal to the lady that I actually wanted to break up with you, but it took me a year plus to be able to find a balanced ground to say, okay, let's break up. Literally, it was not even I that said let's break up at the end. It was the lady, because the lady started noticing some changes. Now, there are some things he wasn't doing anymore, so they can be detaching themselves emotionally and all of that. So the lady said, please, this way you're doing it, I want to even travel out. I think we just need to break up because you can't be here and I'll be there. So let's just end it. And it worked. So
sometimes
maybe we should be open for the lady.
Sometimes these are things that don't happen in a marriage, because a lot of people, you are dating a married man, you say just hold on, I will break up with my wife.
With my wife.
So just hold on.
No, that one I don't really support that one though.
Even if as a fiancé, somebody that could have someone call you don't even know what happens. It was such a lady in situation should be very watchful. She should watch out. Of course, she should. Because if somebody is going ahead to break up due to one thing or the other, you might end up doing the same thing to her. So every time it ends up well.
Of course, yes.
Story ever after.
Of course. If I meet a man and he's telling me, hold on, I have someone in a relationship, but it's still you I want. I will even go and look for that girl and tell I'm just saying, in case you are coming there, I will go and look for your woman or your fiance and tell her that, see, this is what your husband or your boyfriend is planning, because I'm all for the woman actually. Okay, let's move on. This is effect of paternity fraud. Okay, we obviously know that recently Nigeria has started taking paternity tests, DNA tests, to confirm is my child or is not my child. And somebody actually came out. The reason I'm bringing out this one is somebody came out and said that it is not part of our culture. African culture naturally is. Sometimes some of these men, our fathers then, they knew that maybe the first child or the last child is not theirs. They know. But they will not say no to the child. They will still take the child. They don't even need the wife to confess. They will still embrace the child. Or sometimes maybe she was pregnant before they even had sex, and and he knows he has not done it yet. He will still embrace that child because it is his. And sometimes when they get to find out in a way they did not expect, because it's their wife and they've already poured energy, love, money, a lot of investment to that child, they see that child as their own. But now, every man is out there. In fact, when the baby is born, they are ready to do the DNA immediately. For no just you got married to your wife, you had your honeymoon, and person gave birth, and something in you is telling you, or your friend is telling you, go and do the test for that child. Are you sure? These days now, ladies will sleep with their ex a night with the wedding, and you think it's But what do you think is the effect of this paternity fraud? Don't you think we should embrace, since you're the father, just be the father? What's your take?
You see, in time past,
Yeah.
People marry for different reasons. One, the influence of the parents. In fact, several children have been betrothed even before they grew up, before they got mature.
Yeah.
So there is this respect for the family, the families that actually came together. Not just about the persons of those who are actually the personalities of those who are getting married. So in such scenario, probably out of respect for the bond between both families, the guy can choose not to expose the kind of paternity fraud. The guy can choose to accept, or probably because of his own lack of sexual competence or whatever, they can choose to just. But now these days, children look for who they want to marry and come to tell their parents about it. So they have 100% say in their marriages. Unlike before, where the parents are actually, in fact, sometimes back then, it is the father that actually sent a couple of people to go and investigate about the lady's family. The lady's family will also do the same. You know, those things are known. Most times, those at this present generation, we don't do all of that. So there is, irrespective of how much the two of them feel to love, they confess love each other, because they initiated it, and anything. And when they have doubtful minds, they really don't have people they confide in to talk to that can actually call the guy to order, or call, because they actually they want to be the alpha and the omega in the relationship. Unlike before, where your parents can interfere, you can believe, because you trust your dad's judgment on certain things. It all has the advantages and disadvantages. But I'm telling you reasons why this generation will not want to even tolerate half of whatever our parents did back then. Secondly, is also the fact that every man knows that before a lady can step out of love to sleep with someone else, then her mind is 50% or more than 50% gone. So it's difficult for a guy to accept, because he already knows that then I don't stand a chance anymore. So it's more like, do you want me to push you out, or let me push you out to that person since you already stepped out?
Already.
Yeah. On the other hand, most times guys that step out and have children outside do it probably because there's no child in the marriage at home, and there's a lot of pressure with the consent of probably his family. The woman may not be aware. But it is when the child is born that you don't see all of them now sit down and put the lady at the middle and we tell you it happened to Olugbo 20 years ago, and Olugbo had to endure. The lady is now trying to join one or two together to know what exactly are they trying to say. So, however, I will round up by saying this. I'm of the opinion that, you see, if we in this 21st century are willing to do the hard talks, most people are, because of emotions and the body chemistry, they are avoiding those real conversations. See, and that's why businesses are not lasting long. Actually, you want to do a partnership, and you guys cannot put in contract the deal breakers or how to even part ways amicably without even having problems. We've not matured to that level where we can have some difficult conversations. And the right time to have that difficult conversation is before marriage. The next time is actually now, if you are listening to me. You need to sit down. Babe, what's your deal breaker in this relationship? I must not hear you do so and so. Okay. Then that means every appearances of such, before it happens, if I see such red flags, I'll point your attention and I may fight you. We have to know that I'm helping you preserve the deal breaker. Okay, what is your deal breaker as far as I'm concerned? Whenever I hope you understand what I'm telling you. Once you see, you guys must be able to talk about certain things. You must be able to have those difficult conversations now. Then I need to say that men must also understand that, for instance, I have people that are not biologically my children that I actually sponsor. I see them as my children. But it is different from when someone else, yes, and they want me to just accept. It will be difficult. So going forward, see, if you have reasons to not like your husband's sexual performance, talk to him about it. They are difficult conversations, but have those conversations. If it's about money, guys that are comfortable with eating from the woman's sweat without even trying to refund when you don't have.
Yeah.
She will do something else. Yes, because you have actually created that opportunity for her. You sit down, you request for 10 minutes from a soup that you contribute $1 to, and you are happy. Then it is now when she now brings another, you now want to be angry. No, you have lost that right.
Okay, now he just talked about the angle from the men, where men, both men and women. So let's also talk about the fact whereby this test adopted usually affects the child the more. The man will get over it, the woman will eventually get over it, but there is this emotional and psychological effect it has on the child for a pretty long time if care is not taken. But what do you think should be done about that, and what are the major ways that men can be able to handle these things without, you know, the child being affected or coming into equation? I don't know how they have to exempt the child so that the child will be fine.
Basically, the paternity fraud leads to identity crisis for the child, because he doesn't even know where to place herself or him or herself, and this thing has led to many suicide, a lot of things on the part of the child, because psychologically it will affect the emotion of the child, it will affect the views of the world based on the child. And so the child needs to go for counseling. The parents must, probably the biological father or the presumed biological father, should take up. You have to train the child from the beginning, how to take up and lack of that. So, but on the men as well, you know, because it's like you are training a child to 10 years old, and somebody is not telling you now discover that the child is no longer a child. He's lost a child. It's like died. So that's a serious outbreak. So women should should be careful on this paternity crisis. So the fact that, like Mr. Femi said, that since you have been taking this child, you know, when anything happens, seek to ensure that the future of this child is still preserved. Because you have been taking care of this child, the father is no longer your child, does not change the fact that you love the child. You know, so still go ahead and still because you're going to send a wrong signal to the society, because the seed of bitterness in that child will go into the society, you know, affect the future of that child. So going forward, the effect, let me come back to the woman now. You know, that's why we always say marriage should be done without sex before marriage, because when sex is done within the boundaries of marriage, you know that, okay, we can count in. When I got married, when my wife delivered, but after 9 months, I begin to hear people begin to count for me. I said, when you get married, they begin to count. So, and their counting was right. You know, so and the people begin to, when one person that I know that thing happened to, when the lady said she was pregnant, and the day of delivery, she told the guy, she confessed that please, this child is not yours, because she was seeing some spiritual signs and that. And the guy ran to me and said, Pastor, this is the case, and last of that. I said, well, go and think about it. You're ready to take up the paternity of the child. And he said he agreed. But the breach of trust has been there. So every time the lady wants to go to the place, you're going to see that insecurity, and eventually they had 2 children for the guy, but eventually that insecurity, that breach of trust has been there. And last of that, the foundation has been destroyed. You know, so eventually the marriage got broken. You know, so this thing is very, very terrible. So women, if you don't want a marriage again, break the marriage. Tell, I don't want this man any longer. For you to now go and pick a child, because at the end of the day, it will affect the child. Child, somebody he has looked up to be his father. All of a sudden, this is no longer my father. Then who is my father?
But are we going to entirely blame women? Because that brings me to the question of there are a lot of reasons. There are some women that are just extra. You know, doing that is wrong. But we cannot entirely blame a woman that probably has a child of another man in her home. You have to probably know exactly what brought her to that condition of doing that. I know some women can be, you know, like we say, let me have the last taste before getting into marriage. And the last taste, you know, getting this child, or you did some kurukere waka, and you understand you got pregnant. But let's talk about the child. Is it necessary or compulsory to actually tell the child that I'm not your father? Should the child actually be involved? I don't know. I know it's necessary for the child to know who the real father is, but I don't know. I'm just thinking. The
child had to know in one way, even if they don't tell the child. I know somebody who was having such issue. It's just that one was not really basic. It was not forceful. He just had to, because the mother died when she gave birth to the child.
Okay.
So they had to give it to the uncle. You know, but one day when the man was, he's not a man now. When the child was about 12 years ahead, when they were saying, that's my child, the real father was telling. And since that time, that has become a bottle of a bit of a bitterness to the father. So it has even as we speak now, it's causing crisis. I educate for his own children, but they don't know which son to bear. Yeah, the son's people are the son of
the other person.
And also the child in the real sense of it, they should not even tell the child preserve, and they can still begin to pretend as if all things are good. Or probably the child grows up and they can handle this.
Do you agree with that too?
Yes, I agree. There's even a situation I know about right now that the child just turned 5, but the father killed the mom. The father killed the mom of the boy, and the boy was actually talking in class.
Wow.
They were teaching them marriage in social studies, and they were talking about father, mother, and they said, my daddy killed my mommy because my mommy said I do not belong to him. You know, I'm talking about a 5-year-old child. You imagine that trauma. Now, fine. Well, it is not the duty of educators or educationists to probably interfere. But imagine that kind of mindset that 5-year-old boy has at the moment. You can, in fact, he was even willing to come to the front of the class to even tell everyone about. So now, imagine if it goes in the next 10 years, I can imagine the level of death you have for the father.
That's true.
Is it just the father or the gender? Maybe a gender, maybe the male gender, the female gender.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think we should find a way to manage it so the children can take it. We should find a way to manage their expectations. And one of the things is they should know that they have plenty fathers.
Yeah.
Like for instance, in my family, my children see my wife's sisters. The big mom. See, we have good tradition. We just like we have abandoned
those traditions.
There's big money. There used to be, but back then we have that wants to take care because there's not one to attend to history. We are all on our own. So, but if it was when back those days where families used to raise children and where every of your younger sister or child is even they see you as their.
Yeah, of course.
It's easier for them to
big mommy.
grow up. Those men are able to accept the truth. Probably at their teenage or probably.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect time for somebody to be able to accept. Yes, at that point, the person will even decide. So if I want you to still continue being my father, or I want this person to be my father. Exactly. So I think it's better when the person is of age. But before we go, our time is already up. We have like 4 minutes left. Let's quickly watch a video whereby a man that's always asking the wife, do you have change? Do you have money? Give me some money. I'll give you back. And the wife keeps saying, I don't have money. I don't have anything. But later, he found a box of money. Plenty money. I decided, like plenty money. And he was like, women. Anyway, let's watch this video. I'll come back to wrap up the show. Women and money. I'm not going to say anything, but just one word for that video before we go.
Okay, it's very, very disappointing. It's a betrayal sometimes when a man feels that I need money to better our family, and probably the man has been trying the time past, not for a irresponsible man, and eventually discovered the woman had money and could not even support the family, and just you are saving the money away and lots of that. So it's more like a betrayal.
It's a disappointment.
It's a disappointment.
Okay, how about you?
Men, lower your expectations financially from the woman. In fact, she should always look up to you. And when you don't have, create a reward system to refund and add interest. Adding interest will make her want to loan you. She will be the one to tell you, I have money I'm not using. Should I bring it?
You are speaking my mind.
It took time to be able to experience that, but you see, I enjoy it. So many things will be sorted in the house before you come back.
Collect 100k and give me 120, 150. Come again and
exactly. And you always get it. You will just
see this video. This one I say why is a lie. I'm very sure you're not probably giving her what she wants, and she's hiding all that money for herself. Maybe to buy one Dodge or something because it's an able person. So obviously, I don't know. But I agree with what. It's not disappointing. I don't agree with what Pastor said. I agree with what he said. Learn to take off too many responsibility or financial expectations from your woman. You are the one that have the bulk of the responsibilities. Exactly.
Well, our money is our money.
Your money is our money. My money is my money. Anyway, that's the end of the program. Thank you so much, Pastor, for coming on the show. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, Femi Chacha, for doing good analysis in topics too. Thank you for coming. Thank you, viewers, for watching. We've come to the end of today's program. Tomorrow is Friday, and of course, it's going to be a Thank God It's Friday edition where we review movies, music, and of course, everything happening on the entertainment scene. My name is Rose Blossom. Have a beautiful day for yourself. Bye for now.